Hello everyone, I am burning some Palo Santo because I feel like I need to purify my space right now. Alright, let me share this to some groups, like that one, and yeah, and that one too, why not? Uh-oh, there we go. Okay, so, yay! Now that we're out and doing things, our space has been purified. I was actually just purifying the space and the smoke alarm went off. The baby yelled, it was awful. Anyway, so that's what we're doing today. All right, so life errors. You know, sometimes we make mistakes, right? Sometimes we do things and we're not like happy about it or whatever. Hi, Kristen. And not like as in math, like you have a math problem where it's like 2 + 2 = 4 and like you write 2 + 2 = 5. Oh, you're wrong. I get that. Hey, Jackie. So I get that, like, okay, that's wrong, but I'm not talking about, they're not errors like on math. It's more like, I had flies. I don't know if you keep potted plants, but I had some flies, like little, I don't know, fungus flies, I think they're called. And instead of, like when I first saw them, I was like, oh no! So my first instinct was to like pour water on it, which is not something you do. But even though I poured water on it, it might not have made things better, but I didn't like ruin it forever, you know, like I learned how to take care of my plants and like it's fine now. Hi Anthony. So yeah, it didn't ruin it beyond repair. So that's what I'm talking about. They're errors, right? So I know that your first instinct when you make an error is to beat yourself up. But why do you do that? You know, like when a child does something wrong. Hi Jamie. When a child does something wrong, and the first instinct is to, no, it's bad. Oh, stop doing that. And so when they grow up, they start using that same language to talk to themselves, to police themselves in their head. So when you were a child, think about how, like, if you did something that wasn't right, like, what did your parents, what did your caregivers do to you, say to you? So that's why when you fuck up, the first instinct is to go, oh my God, I'm so stupid, you know, and then all the mind chatter starts. And, you know, just think about it. Like, what if you were loved and spoken to gently, you know? Like, no, we were punished. We were punished as AF. Hey, Morris, nice to see you again. Nice to have you here. So basically your first instinct is to remove love from yourself, right? Like, because if you did something wrong, or if you did an error, you were punished, you were spanked, you were sat in a corner, timeout, stuff was removed from you, right? So your first instinct is to remove love from yourself. When you remove love from yourself, you remove a lot of, you remove love, okay? So, before you launch into your mind stuff, breathe. Because a lot of times when we mess up and we see that we mess up, our breathing starts to get shallow. So I want you to intentionally, and you're going to not want to, hi Rebecca, you're going to not want to breathe, but you're going to intentionally stop yourself and like breathe deeply from your, hi Dana, from your diaphragm. And just sit with yourself. Let the tears fall, scream, explode, implode, hi Ashley, fall apart, you know, express whatever emotion that you have or that's coming up for you. And like, for me, my go-to feelings are like sadness and feelings of unworthiness. Whenever I'm like, oh no, I messed up. Like I get sad and I feel like, oh, I'm not worthy of this or I'm not worthy of that. Hi, Prudence. Excuse me. But then, like I said, first step is to breathe. The second step is to find the lesson in the error, you know, lean into the turn, if you will, or lean into the mess. And like, don't try to dismiss it. Don't be like, oh, it didn't happen or well, whatever, forget it. You know, don't try to justify it because that makes you dishonest. Don't try to say, well, I did this error because these things, like you created an error. You did something. Hi, Allegria. So accept it and realize that although you created an error, and like, it's an error, so like, who wants to create those? But you created an error, but you can learn from the experience. And like, when you do this, you learn how to make changes and tweaks to your life to create a better life experience. Because if you don't accept it, if you don't realize that this is a learning experience, it's going to be just a great source of pain and discomfort from you. So that's why we attempt to see how the errors can be used for learning in our present life circumstances. So one thing that I like to do is I like to grab a notebook. Oh, did I have my notebook? I actually created an error. I actually did an error. And I spent a lot of time crying over it this morning. Hi, Nessa. Hi, it's nice to see you. I spent a lot of time this morning actually crying and journaling about it and accepting it and trying to come from a place of understanding, like, why did I do this and things like that. So, like, I love the journal idea because it gets your thoughts, like things in the back of your mind, to the forefront and like in front of your face. You can literally look at it and see what you're thinking. So I asked myself these questions. What can I learn from this experience? Or what is this experience attempting to show me about myself? Another one is, what was I doing before that I need to stop doing in related to the error? And then what was I not doing before that I need to start doing, again, related to the error? And then how can I recognize the errors before I commit them? And then how can I recognize the triggers that happen prior to the error so that I can stop it before it starts in the future? And I'm going to make sure that all these questions go like in the communication area of this so that you will have it there. I don't know, can I actually do that right now? I'll just do it later. I'll do it later, no big deal. But the whole idea of this question, answer, introspective thought process is love. This is the love that you're showing yourself. So instead of dismissing yourself as a bad person, saying, oh, you fucked up, you're bad. You did a bad thing, you're bad. And then, walking away and never looking at it again. You, instead of writing yourself off as you were taught by your caregivers, hi Joshua, instead take the time to sit with yourself and understand. And this is the learning and the growing part. This is the love. This is how you get through your errors. This is choosing to love, choosing to understand, choosing to breathe, as opposed to judging yourself and beating yourself down. And so the steps in your errors. First, I know you want to beat yourself up, but breathe. And when you hear like the thoughts start in your head, like, oh, you fucked up, blah, 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 just sit there and like breathe. Breathe deep from your belly. And allow the emotion to express itself through you. Allow it to wash over you. And then learn to find the lesson in the error. Of course, like, you committed an error. Great. We all fuck up from time to time. Even me. Like I said, I literally this morning this is how I came up with the idea for today's live video, was the fact that I fucked up. And I had to actually go through this exact same process today to finally feel better, not like feel better about it. Like, it's still like, it sucks that it happened, but at the same time, like, I'm not sad that it happened. I'm not upset that it happened. I'm not sorry that it happened. I'm glad that it happened because now I can learn from this experience. It's like, I don't know, it's like a test, if you will. So, first instinct to beat yourself up, don't breathe. Second, find the lesson in the error. Attempt to see how the errors are like going to teach you something. And then answer the questions. And I'll make sure to put the questions in the little comments. Not the comment. Yeah, in the... I don't know. They'll be in here. They'll be here for you. But so that's all I have for you today. I hope... I don't know if you're still watching. Just let me know if you learned something. Please. So... Love yourself through it. We all fuck up. It's okay, It's not like... It's how you deal with it. It's how you respond to it. It's how, instead of instantly going to hating yourself and putting yourself down, it's about seeking to love and understand why you would do that in the first place. Anyway, so if you are interested in joining my... Oh, thank you, Kristen. Kristen said shared, love the message. Rebecca said thank you. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this. But if you're interested in joining my group, I have a self-love and spiritual healing Facebook group. Each day we are engaged in meaningful conversation and introspective thought. You know, it's not me saying, hey, look at all this stuff. It's more like, here's a question. How does it apply to your life? How do you see this playing out in your life and your experience? You get two weekly emails and I dive deeply into my own healing. Like the next email is probably going to go really in depth as to what I was doing, as to like my personal error in this. And then like you kind of get a taste of like my own thought process and how I break things down and deal with it in my own life. We engage in the serious conversations. Make sure if you're interested in that. Yep, I'm going to put the URL in the description. And yeah, I'm also opening up my schedule to accept 3 new clients this year. Yay! Well, technically 2 because I have a girl right now that is getting ready. But I'm working on restoring the confidence of 3 beautiful souls. And I'm taking applications starting in January. The last day to apply is January 10th. Yay! But yeah, and that's what I have for you today. I do live videos every Saturday morning at 11 a.m., so please join me. This one was very short. I want to keep them short. It's intentional. And if you're interested in joining my one-on-one program, please hop in my DMs. I would love to work with you and see if we are a good fit. But other than that, thank you so much for being here, for being present to my transformation and yours. I love you. Have a nice day.